The 4 stages of competency are really important to know as a learner, as a coach, or a teacher. Because meeting your student or having compassion with yourself as a learner is really important to the learning success and smoothing the journey out and keeping your client or your student inspired. If you don't know where they are at this level of competency, well, you might find yourself getting frustrated, yelling, and why are you doing that? And haven't you learned this yet? It's called learning. So if your student is inspired and they're showing up to do the best that they can, maybe it's just where they're at in the learner journey that they need to be guided through. So the job of a teacher, coach, or mentor is to make the journey a little smoother, yes? But we still have to go through the steps of learning. So number 1 is unconsciously incompetent. I don't know what I don't know. Tell me what it is that I need to know. How do I hold the racket? What are the components of the game? How do I keep score? What is it that I need to know? Because I don't actually know what I need to know. And then the next one is consciously incompetent. So I'm starting to see the gap. So maybe I'm starting a new business and I'm starting to see, okay, I actually need to learn these things in order, or these steps in order to be prepared to start my business. And then we are consciously competent, meaning I'm learning the process, but I still require a lot of focus. The other night I was playing pickleball and there was music playing. There was a DJ for a private party. And the better players were sort of, dancing. The music was pretty good. And then they go ahead and serve. But for me, I am consciously competent, but I'm not good enough that I could be distracted by the music and still play pickleball. So I'm like, okay, I'm not good enough to dance and play pickleball at the same time. So just a fun example. When you're consciously competent, if you're learning, up-leveling your skill, you might drop down to consciously incompetent, right? So I was learning the top spin, for example, in pickleball, and my whole serve fell apart. And things that I was doing well before, I was no longer doing well. Everything got scrambled in my head. And if I didn't understand the learner journey, at that point, I would have gotten even more frustrated and maybe even given up. I did have a period of time in that particular lesson going, God, I can't play this sport. Look at me, I'm a mess. I'm a disaster. I've totally forgotten how to play the game. Anyone relate? But I understand the learner journey. So again, if you're a coach and your student or client is dancing between consciously incompetent and consciously competent, know that as they show up, they're doing the best they can, and they're going to have dips and valleys. It's like they got it and then they don't got it, and then they got it and then they don't got it. True transformation happens when we change and transform in the same environment. But that's going to take practice. This is why I always have coaches. I always hire coaches to help me, because they can support me in moving through these challenges a little bit smoother, a little bit faster, a little bit easier. I can learn from their wisdom of their mistakes, what worked and what didn't work, as opposed to just trying it on my own and trying to figure things out, maybe picking up bad habits, stepping over things, missing a step. So hire a coach, whatever it is that you want to learn, until you get to where you're at least in that solid, consciously competent stage. But anytime you want to up level, that's where a coach comes in handy. For anything, for a sport, for life, for personal development, for business. I always have a couple coaches that I'm working with for different aspects of my life, because it makes things easier. It supports me in these trials and tribulations, maybe being a little less dramatic. Allows me to be more successful and even enjoy the journey. So fulfillment comes before success. So enjoy the process of learning what you're learning, of practicing, of experience, of leveling up, of making mistakes and building your comeback muscle. All these things. It's not about being this. It's about who you get to become as you get to be that. All right, signing off. Thanks, everyone.